you doing? Duff here, and what you see is my house. Probably 36 hours before we start getting, well, 24 to 36 hours before we start getting some significant wind from Hurricane Irma. Cindy and I have been busting ass all day. This is plywood that I actually put together back in 2004, I believe. And it's been in my shed since 2005, since Hurricane Wilma, which is the last time we had to do it. And it's not real thick plywood, it's like half-inch plywood. Not super thick, but it did the job for Wilma, so I'm hoping it'll do the job here for Irma as well. But I have all the openings to the house covered short of this, and we'll be covering that up tomorrow as well. Just to give you a little before shot, because things will more than likely look quite different in a little while. There's a couple plants here in pots that they'll be put away into the sheds. The sheds themselves, we've kind of rearranged stuff, condensed stuff, so we can jam as much as we can into here. You might wonder how these kind of sheds are meant to survive down in Florida. This is built, I think it has 125 mile-an-hour wind rating. Down here you might see those little metal things. Those are called hurricane straps. They're kind of corkscrewed into the ground really, really deep, and then the shed has metal straps that attach to those to, in theory, keep it in place. So we will test that theory tomorrow. Hi, girls. All right, so hi, Steffi. It's okay. So people that are familiar with my situation, watch my videos, they know that we have chickens. And I've probably spent more time hardening the chicken coop than anything, because the idea of losing the coop would really, really suck. As far as the safety of the chickens themselves, we are not going to leave them out here. We have a urban chicken tractor that we first got when we had our original 3 chickens. We plan to put that in the garage, and we're going to put the chickens in there during the worst of the winds. But as far as the shed itself goes, chicken coop, this is a lifetime shed, and this has been exposed to a lot of strong winds through various thunderstorms that we get down here, but obviously it has not been through a hurricane yet. So what I did is I did a number of things. First, let's go inside. You'll see the way that this is stocked. There's a bunch of, there's probably, I don't know, 8, 9 lag bolts that hold this floor to the deck. I have a deck that's about a foot off the ground that's made out of heavy duty 3/4 inch plywood, and this is the floor of this is connected by lag bolts to that. But what I did is I went around and I put auxiliary wood all the way around. You can't see it right now. All the way around the coop to try to hammer down the edges of this as much as possible. Just glue it to the platform, because the platform is quite heavy and it's also cemented into the ground. So that's what I did from the inside. And I also installed these. This is 2x2 wood, and what that does is that locks these trusses together to give it some more rigidity this way. They actually sell like a high wind kit for this, which I don't have. I didn't have time to order, but this should help kind of, again, just make the structure stronger. But then the real serious thing that I did was, if you see here, this is my slack line that I bought for Cindy a while ago, and I have that connected underneath the platform, going up and over the roof and down to the opposite side. And over on this side I have one of my more conventional ratchet straps that usually is in the back of the Tacoma. I did the same thing on this side. It goes up and over, it crisscrosses over the roof of the shed, and then connects back here. I have these ratcheted up pretty tight. You can see it's kind of squishing the roof a little bit, which is fine. But again, my hope there is it's just going to keep the structure locked to the deck as much as possible. And the funny thing is the slack line that actually has a tensile strength of like 2.5 tons. So it's next to impossible to break that thing. So I'm hoping that that's going to keep the shed on the platform. In addition, I plan to do a little something. I'm going to cover these little shitty windows with something tomorrow. Not sure what exactly, but I am going to do that. I normally have some clear plastic covering over this portion of the run. I removed that because I didn't want to have anything else that would put additional wind load on the structure, so I pulled that off as well. Right, girls? Okay, this is our smaller shed. Again, it has some hurricane straps, smaller versions of hurricane straps, but hurricane straps nonetheless. That door's not closed very well, which I might need to do something about. And here again, we're going to have mostly plants, I think. But yeah, we're going to be just stuffing this with a lot of small things tomorrow. There's my big generator. I'll be relying on that to power the water equipment primarily. Unfortunately, it's not the most reliable generator. It does kind of have a tendency to shut off after running for a little while. And I can usually get it restarted, but it's just a pain in the ass because you have to go out there and restart it all the time. So, yeah. In the big shed, I didn't point it out, but I have a small Honda generator in the big shed, which will be used to primarily like power stuff inside, like the fridge, fans, that kind of stuff. Also in that small shed, I had a window, like a 5,000 BTU window AC unit that I bought back in 2005, and I plugged it in today, and unfortunately it doesn't work anymore. It looks like some ants or wasps or mice or something made a house in there, and it's all screwed up. So do not have a window AC unit at this time, although I will try to get another one if we have a prolonged power outage. Okay, here's my newly installed RO system. It's nice, the company that I got it from, Watermedic, they actually included a ratchet strap inside the cabinet, and they have these eye bolts that are sunk into the concrete that you're supposed to strap it down so it cannot blow away. And I also use those same eye bolts to put some more straps on my cover that I made for the water equipment. You know, I'm nervous about this being able to survive high winds, although I do have that attached to the concrete as well. But I'm hoping having it strapped down and pulled down will keep that intact. These water barrels I'll be probably just leaving out. They're all filled. They're heavy as hell, and and they're against the house, so I don't expect anything to happen to them. The outside air compressor has straps on it as well to hopefully keep it in place during wind. Here is the temporary coop that we'll be putting the chickens in. It's going to be a little tight. I mean, compared to what they're used to, they're not going to be very happy being in a small space like that, but it's better than blowing around the yard like a projectile. So that's going to be their home. And the trash bins need to go inside as well, inside the garage. So the chickens are going to we're going to line up the coop on this side of the garage. Cindy's car is going to go here, and then what we're going to do is park my truck and Cindy's car sideways in front of the garage. And what that does is that offers a buffering of any wind against the door, because sometimes garage doors can fail, even though mine it's not the latest and greatest, but it does have reinforcements on it to help with wind load. But when you put a vehicle in front of it, it helps to protect it so it's not exposed to full wind. So we'll be doing that tomorrow as well before we go to bed. And we'll be putting a few other things in the garage here, not a whole lot. Look up front, you see this is something I started with my ex-wife. Every time we put these up, we labeled what hurricane it was for. First time Ivan in 2004, which actually wound up not even being a direct hit, and then Wilma, where we did actually need it, and Irma this year. These plants will go in the garage. We even blocked the door, which you necessarily don't have to do. We have a outswing door, so the probabilities of a hurricane pushing it in are very, very remote. But I created this. Actually, I cut this piece of plywood when we used to have an in-swing door, so it's good. It's better safe than sorry. And up here's the office. So as you can see, everything's covered. So anyways, that's it. Just give you a quick pan of the front, see how the front looks now. And it'll be interesting to compare that to how it is after. But yeah, that's our prep. It's been a hard day. You know, everybody in this area is anxious and scared. Whoever's left, a lot of people left. You know, either left or they're in shelters. But I'm still confident that we'll be okay here. The house is, you know, it's poured concrete block walls, and I'm hoping actually the winds that we should see should be less than what we saw with Wilma, because I think we got into the 130s with Wilma, and I think by the time this would get us, even though the track has been going more and more west, I think the winds will be closer to the 100-mile-an-hour range, at least what I'm seeing so far. So hopefully that's still the case. But anyways, anyone else that's in Florida, hope you're doing well, and I'll be sure to report back and let you know how we made out. Duckman out.